What's up everyone, Dwayne Pedals here. In today's video I'm going to be chatting with you how I cracked these carbon cranks during the BWR gravel race in California. Let's get into it.
Woo. Whoa! Man, are you serious?
Okay, so first off, full disclosure that I did not pay for these cranks. I received these cranks from Easton Cycling about 3 years ago when I was building up my dream build for the Abashaka MX. If you want to check that video out, you can here somewhere in this video. Just tap on the link. But further into it, why would one consider getting some carbon cranks for their bike? For me, it was two things. Basically, well, I want to say maybe three things. The weight savings was one. The stiffness was two. And honestly, the looks. These look dope. Easton is a brand that, you know, is made by Raceface. So these cranks, you know, at the time when I bought them were awesome, and I still stand to that this day. And I'm not being biased because I got them for free and everything, but at the same time, you know, considering that I cracked a lot of other cranks by major brands like Shimano back in the day, you know, I can say that, you know, for the past 3 years that I've ridden these cranks hard as hell on my gravel bike, these have held up really well. So how did this all happen? Well, first off, the gravel race at BWR was pretty wild. Now, at mile 52 into my 75-mile race, I was riding over a gravel bed of rocks, and next thing I know, I'm unable to pedal. I look down and I see my crank arm pretty much blown out into just about pieces, and it looks like it cracked inside of the pedal boss where the pedal treads into the crank arm on my drive side, which was unfortunate. It put basically an end to my race. Although I did finish it, I had to hike, bike, and kick and push up and down the hills all the way to the finish line, which sucked. But that was how it all happened. Now, one of the things one would consider grabbing a pair of carbon cranks is if your bank account is stacking. Right? You know, you gotta have the cash for these things. They're not cheap. Secondly is performance, right? Like, I notice a huge difference in terms of stiffness with carbon cranks versus aluminum cranks. You know, it's just a world difference. You can feel that stiffness when you're putting power down on the pedals in that bottom bracket area of the bicycle. I'm a pretty big guy. I mean, I'm 6'1", I'm 225 pounds, and it fluctuates. Sometimes I'm 220 and sometimes I'm 225, depending on what I ate that week. But, you know, at the same time, that could be a lot of, you know, stress on your bike, your carbon cranks as well. But as I said before, you know, when you are considering carbon cranks, just factor that in. Factor in your weight, factor in your needs as a cyclist, you know, before, you know, making a big purchase such as carbon fiber cranks. Another reason why someone would consider carbon cranks is obviously the weight savings. These cranks weigh 442 grams, super light. My Ultegras are like 742 grams. So it's about a 330 gram difference in terms of weight savings. I mean, that could be a lot for someone who's a weight weenie. Not to say that I am, but I'm just saying, you know, as a cyclist, aren't we all in some way? Before considering carbon cranks, just look into the manufacturer, check out some of the reviews if you want to pour into that all your time. But otherwise, you know, just trust in the brand that you're going to be working with and riding parts from. I still ride Easton, and thankfully they were able to replace these for me. And, you know, appreciate all that. And I continue to ride them, you know. And yes, you know, there's lots of reviews online you're going to find about don't ride carbon fiber cranks, you know, or I would never do it. I just ride aluminum. I don't see the difference in terms of durability and weight savings. But honestly, you know, I'm going to say, like, I totally do. And I'll continue riding them. In terms of durability, like I said before, you know, I've broken Ultegra cranks twice in my cycling career so far. This was the first time I've ever had broken carbon cranks in the last 3 years, you know. So, gotta say, you know, these are pretty solid on my end. There are lots of other problems I've heard from other people with these particular cranks. You can check that out if you'd like. But, you know, just use that as a grain of salt in terms of, you know, your purchasing decision and everything. Whew, looks like we got a storm coming in. Lastly, just wanted to share this video with everyone on how it all went down with my Belgian waffle ride and how my cranks broke. And, you know, let me know what you think in terms of carbon fiber cranks. Do you ride carbon fiber cranks? Are you opposed of buying in using carbon fiber cranks? Would love to hear in the comments below. Y'all already know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.